Oh. This is fun. Watching myself and laughing for my video. And is it being watched by 4 members right now? Okay, glad. So, what are we going to do now? Let's see. Posting it online so that people can. Posted in LinkedIn so people can join online. And what do we have from here? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajram Talks. So, what exactly are we trying to do in this session? So, prior to saying that, let's see what we have done in the previous session. Okay, and here I go. Let's close unnecessary items. Let's see. Okay, and sharing my screen. Excellent. So, more hide with the panel. This should start something. Okay, so let's go with the errors. So this is where I stopped in my previous video or previous session, part 4, but this is part 5. So what do we have here? We have URL, mobile number, and the address. This is what we have. And go ahead and type in your comments so that we can do live chat as well. Okay, and let's see. This is the website where we are trying to get the data, and in this data, what exactly are we trying to do is we're trying to extract industry, this number, this URL, and this address. So after adding it to everything, we need to add it to a particular Excel to make it as a report. So that's the idea. But the problem that I face is I'm using some queues. So here are the queues. Let's see with the queues. Services. This is my tenant. Let's go and log in. Let's go. Okay. Let's see with the queues. In this queue item, we have close to 19 items, and each and every item has few details. View transactions, view details. So here it is: company name, sub industry, fundu data. So anything. We have all these details. So we need to add these details in our Excel. So to do that, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a data table, and in this data table, I'm trying to add a data row. So let's see what data items do we add from here. So I'm taking specific content, and in specific content we have company name. Let's copy this and see so that I give the correct values. Okay, so where do I have? I have company name. Okay, this URL. Okay, industry. So we have two industries, but industry is what we require, and sub industry. Let's take this one as well. Earlier, I found an issue with one of the key. It's saying that there is no such key available. I'm just checking if I missed anything. Level of office. Normally, I don't write the data or I don't write the keywords. I copy them and paste them so that I will not face any issue. But location, city name. We have everything done. Now this should work. So what else do I have? STR mobile number, STR company URL, and STR company address. So what error is showing here? Here it's saying given key is not present in the dictionary. Uh, dot at source. So let's see if I have anything that is related to dot. I'm seeing some issues with the dots. Okay, so I don't have any issue with the dots even, which I can properly extract. Okay, so before adding to this, let's give a breakpoint here and let's see what value are we getting. And let's close all the windows. Okay, and let's go to main and let's debug the process. Debug the process. This normally should take minimum time. Let's see with okay. So it navigated to Britannica Industries and it's trying to fetch the values, mobile number, URL, as well as the other items. Okay, let's see. I think we have a breakpoint here. Let's keep here on focus. Okay, this is the correct value, and here if we see the status, it is in progress, and by we have everything. Config, we don't require anything with config. Specific content is what we require, which is having values, and let's check with the raw view so that we have all the items. City name, we have extension Bangalore, Bengaluru, location. So these are the things that we normally have. So I think this again should throw an error if this is not coming properly. And let's see with the properties of this data table, DT company details. I think if we can have DT company details data, DT, so company details, this should not have any values, but this should normally have all the names. So company address, ADDRESS should be the name, which is a typo, but that's fine. Okay, let's hit on step into, or we are having an error. So let's stop. So what we can initially try to do is, let's copy everything. So this is like an array. So let's take everything here from here, and let's add a for each loop for each item, and in this for each, let's add this particular value. So here this is an object again, and let's try to write the item. Right line, right line, and in this right line, let's write the item dot toString. We should have it But if it is not available, then we need to write one on one. Let's see. Okay, let's go and let's try to debug. I'm sure that it will again throw an error, but fingers crossed, and let's try to do that. So get transaction data, process. So here I'm trying to add a item. Okay, stop. I just want a breakpoint here, nothing else. Let's hit a breakpoint. Debug file. We should have one particular URL. Let's see with the output. Focus. I think this should throw an error. Throwed an error. Remote exception collection. We don't have specific item from the collection. What item might be missed? We have STR company address, URL, everything we have. We do have everything. We didn't miss any item. Let's see this. Yeah, we do have everything. Okay, let's stop and let's add few items. So here I'm getting this value. Let's add or let's take this and notepad, or I have this in my OneNote. Let's try to add them. Okay, we should at least get these three values. If these three values are not coming, then the next items are having an error. So we're just trying to make sure that the first four items are proper. Okay, focus, step into. We have these values and we have the name, URL, industry. That's done. So what can we do is we can take these values. I think there is some issue with company. Anyhow, let's take these three values and let's check the same method. So this is how I normally debug, because I should again check with all the items whether they're coming or not. So instead of checking one by one, if I can block like this, if there is some error here, I can directly handle it here. Save, main, let's go and debug. If we if that completes, then we'll have issue with location or city name that we can see. Anyhow, okay. Okay, step into. Here we have an error. So what items are we trying to fetch from here? So we have sub industry. So let's see with the items here. Okay. status in progress. Okay, this is with few seconds gap. Let's check with the details. Sub industry. Okay, sub industry, company type, level of office. Everything seems to be good. I don't see an issue, but anyhow, let's try to remove level of office and let's try to debug again. One more way how we can do that is using logs for each and every key item, key and value, so that maybe we need to write close to 8 to 9 keys. But again, here instead of just checking with the keys, I can also check with the process if things are coming properly for all the pages or not. Okay, focus, step into, even this is throwing an error. Given key was not present in the dictionary. What kind of key did we give and which is not present in the dictionary? Okay, sub industry is what we are trying to fetch. But if you see here, breakpoint. Okay, sorry, stop. Go to main, debug. So we should have sub industry, but the sub industry is already available, which is this particular item. Maybe there is some error with spacing or something. Okay, let's see with the output. Focus. What do I have from the transaction item? Let's see with the transaction item. I think the transaction item has all the values. So this is in status. So here we have the details. Company type. Okay, there is a space with company type. If you see it properly, I think that's where we are losing our key. Company type, there is a space. Level of office, we have space. Location is coming properly. City name is coming properly, and Bangalore is also coming properly. So what exactly can we do is, okay, let's stop here and let's see with the keys again. So company type, yes, we do have space. So level of office and company type has space. That's the problem we are facing. So there is a previous project where I'm trying to add the values to the queue. So let's go into that first. Okay, add to companies queue. And here in extract companies, what do I have? Okay, I think this is not the project. I hope there is some other project. Extract companies. Okay, extract company details taking queue input. So this is what I want. Here we have extract companies taking queue input, extract company details in structure. Let's see. And let's add the value. There should be somewhere we are adding the queue item. And in this queue item, let's see with the key, array key, we have array key of item. So here what we can do is array key value dot toString dot trim. So this will trim all the values and this will give you the correct place, or it will avoid extra spaces. So the best thing that we can do now is, let's not change the code because the code is correct. Instead of having this, let's go back to here, just having everything properly. Let's go with the code and let's delete this particular items. Extract company details queue, and let's add a new queue again with the same name. Extract company details. Let's go to queues. Extract company details. Delete. Yes. Okay. Let's start company details. And so we need to run multiple process here. First, we need to go and run this dispatcher process. This is a dispatcher which runs the data to extract companies, and from extract companies we need to run the second bot to extract the details and add it to extract company details. From extract company details we need to fetch the queue again, and we need to add the values to a Excel. So remaining two items, so why should I continue? Okay, let's close this since there are already two items that I added just now. So here, let's close this Internet Explorer, and also let's run this bot. So who did not see the process which we have done earlier, they can see this. This takes input, run. So this takes input from this extract companies. It navigates to a particular industry and with particular location. After navigating, it should extract 20 items of the page. We can extract more, but for now let's keep it as 20, and let's add the values. So again, this is a second company or second industry. We are checking for services. Okay, so if you see in this particular queue item, let's refresh. We have 16 items. I think we should have more. When we refresh again, it should update or it should increase. View transactions. So how many do we have? So we had 21 altogether. Let's debug the flow, and let's also see with the details that we added. So company name, we don't have any space now. Level of office, we don't have space now. So everything is coming properly. And let's go ahead and just debug our solution. This should work. Let's close, cancel, name. Let's close this as well. Let's run the flow. We should extract the values and write it into an Excel. That's the goal that we are trying to achieve. PM India, ABB India. Meanwhile, let's go and check. Since we are not making any click activities, we can go and check. Successfully extracted. So this is what we need to go ahead and check. Let's wait for 2 more minutes and let few items gets extracted. Then we can go and check with the Excel. Okay, let's stop this and let's go check with the Excel that's extracted. So this is the extracted details. This is data, and here are the values. What do we have? Let's wrap the text. Okay, so if 3M is completed, then since we are maintaining queues, this will not be, this will not run it again. So this will work well. We have mobile, and okay, let's add the headings. uh, Company name, company name, Fundu data, company URL, industry, sub industry. Let's see. This is industry and this is sub industry. If you don't have sub industry, then it will be null. And what do we have from here? This is type. If you see in the values, we have something called type. Let's check with the queue item. There we can have proper view. Okay. Sub industry we have level of office, location, city name. So level of office we can add office India's top 500. I think that's not level of office. India's top 500. Let's check with the completed items and there we can get it. Successful items are successful. So we can get these details from here. So this is company type. So we can keep this here. Company type. This is location. This is city. And here we have mobile, uh, company address, and here what do we have? We have, so this is company URL, not address, but here this is company address. So one thing that we need to make sure is, okay, so if we have the sheet already available, then we need to follow one specific method. If the sheet is not available, then we need to follow a different method. So here the requirement is in such a way that if you see in the industry, uh, what industry does it have? It's checking with capital goods and machines, electricals and electronics, but here we have altogether a different industry name. But when we are extracting, I think we need to go ahead and change the main workflow again. So again, since this is process chaining, if you're changing one item, then the chain need to go for the next items. What I'm actually checking is in the industry which we are extracting. The problem is with this industries it's linked to, but what we exactly we are checking is with this one. Select an industry. So this is where we'll have an issue. We can keep something called on manufacturing industries as a sheet name, and there we can place all these values. So all of these values. So we can keep selected industry in the queue name. So what do we have from here? Let's go and take add to companies queue. So this is fine. And if you see here, what does this do? Okay, open workflow. We have a transaction item that we are using to add the items like industry type. Selected industry is what I can take and extract company details and add it to the queue. So in underscore industry, selected industry. So this is what I can keep. And here this can be an in argument. And in the queue item, okay, let's add one more ascent statement which does the work for us. But here let's go ahead and pull the values. And so let's add the value here. This is the industry name that we are talking about. Here in this particular item, what exactly are we doing? Uh, okay, we can take this SELECT selected industry. So this is what the name that we are going to give as a key. Oh, sorry. Why is it happening like this? Assign dict collection info, and let's give it as selected industry. And in this selected industry, let's add the industry that we got in underscore selected industry. Now, when we are adding the selected industry to the queue, it should update in the queue. Now, when we are going with the next item, what are we trying to update? We are trying to update something in a sheet, but here instead of this, what we can take is in transaction item specific content, and in this specific content, selected item. Okay, in transaction item dot specific content, and in this specific content we should have something with selected industry. Let's copy the key, selected industry in selected industry, and let's see, copy, and let's paste the item here so that the key name should be properly available to string. Okay, simple process, but again it makes a lot of difference. Let's go ahead, and what we can do is we can fetch the items. Let's fetch only one item per sheet. So how can we do that? Let's go close this, and in our first sheet, which is a dispatch process, let's go to extract companies, and even here we have something called input. In this input, this is where we are trying to map the values. In the map, let's go and add true to multiple items. So here what do we have? Let's add something with, okay, wood plastic furniture fittings. Again, the name is big. I'm not sure how much will it take. Okay, let's keep this as true, and publishing, printing, petroleum, oil and gas refineries. Let's take this one. So what we can exactly try to do is, instead of adding it to queue, before adding it to queue, what can we exactly see? Should run should be nothing, and if it is not equal to completed. But for before that, let's add something with filter data table so that the filter happens. Filter data table. So what are we trying to filter? So we are trying to filter uh, the completed status. Okay, this is the completed status. Let's go with the sheet, cancel. Let's go with this. And what are we looking for? Okay, let's keep a, in the view we can actually freeze this line, fuse Paste top row, and we are checking for should run. That should be true. And I wrote this in exception. So what I can do is I can do Control Shift L, and let's take true items from here. So these are the true items that we have. Let's cut them and paste them here so that I can get all the values. Select all, and let's see with the items that we have. Let's select only true items. So we have close to 6 items that we can work on. Let's go with the process. Now in this process, what are we trying to do? Okay, adding it to queue, but before doing that, let's filter the table so that we'll not run complete all the items. So DT map is what we are checking for. DT map, and I'm also checking for DT map. I don't want to change anything here. In the column, let's see with the should run property, and this should run should be true. Should run should be equal to, okay, what are we checking for? This should run should be equal to true. Okay, so this is what we are exactly checking for. Let's check, debug the solution and check if we are able to get those values or not, because even if we don't get it, then it will be a mess. Let's keep a breakpoint here. Debug breakpoint, and let's read and filter. Debug, step into. So let's see with the values. DT map, we don't have any values, so that should be an issue. Okay, and we have capital T and RUE. So let's stop it. Filter, and let's stick with TRUE. This should work for us. Debug. Step into. Do we have values now? We still don't have values. Why is it so? I think here we have the correct answer. Okay, output data table. Data table we have. Should be checked. So let's stop and let's see the values. Anything that is true, maybe it's throwing a error. So what exactly can we change it? Okay, should run is yes. Let's keep yes or no, because having a small yes or no will also give correct results. And here should, yes, this is yes. And let's see with the data. Yes, close. Here we have the values. Yes, we have the values. Let's save it. Save the existing file. DT repaired. I think this should not be available with the name repair. Let's check anyhow. Input. Okay. All we are checking with is should run should be yes, and if it is yes, then we will run it. Go ahead and debug. Save this. Let's go ahead and debug. What do we have here? DT map, which has yes. Step into, and DT map, we should have correct values. So we got the values properly. I don't have any issue in that. But I do see something with double quotes. Not sure why I have double quotes here. Let's go ahead and check with the file data. Nothing. So let's continue. Okay. Let's continue the process. Remove all breakpoints. Continue. So let's go ahead and see with the queue name. So here, what do we have? We have four items. So to get the latest items, let's go and delete this. Extract company details. So we can get a new values. Let's create new, which is easier process. Let's add this company details. Add. Okay. Let's see with the values. What do I have? I have all the values here, but while extracting the values or extracting the data table, let's limit it to 2 or 3 so that I can get correct value. Open data range, extract data table properties. Instead of having 10, let's have it as 2. So the maximum number it can take from one particular industry is 2, and let's run this. Okay. What do I have now? I have particular industries and particular values where I'm extracting only 2 items per industry so that I can check with the third workflow if it is properly working or not. Do I have any message? No. Okay, let's continue. So this particular item has no records, so even that will match. Sapphire Papers Mill. So this also has only one item. Let's continue. This should have 26. Okay. And again, this is having only one item. That's fine. This completed. Let's see with the company details. View transactions. And let's see with the details. We have selected industry as well. With this selected industry, we should have the path or the sheet name. So in the selected industry, let's add dot to trim. So let's run it. We should have only 1 or 2 items. Run file. But since we have multiple sheets or multiple industries, everything should be added to a new sheet. Now the industry is changed. We are extracting the values directly from the URLs. Let it complete so that we can understand that the complete process is done, and whatever values are failed, we can take those values and let's see why those items are failed. Ocean engineering, oceaneering. Okay, I do believe that there are some exceptions. Okay, what exceptions do we have? Append range. Worksheet name cannot be more than 31 characters. Okay, so this is a particular error. So what I can do is extract company details in the process. Let's give it as dot substring of 0 comma length. Let's give it as 30. So if we have 30, then this particular error will be resolved. That's what I can check. Okay, let's close all windows. Okay, let's see with the items. Let's see with failed items. Let's check if these can be retried. Okay, let's retry items. New. We have three items now. Let's run this process again. And also, let's see if the extracted items are properly done. So, where do we have that particular workflow? Here it is. And let's refresh this page. Data. We have industries like manufacturing industries, and we have all the values here. And wrap text, all service industry, paper and published printing. That's fine. Now we need to see with the different sheet altogether. Let's go and let's update. Let's close this. Yes. Let's see if that runs. And also write, let's run this. Let's see. So if you have any questions, go ahead and write them in a chat. We are trying to extract the values. Here petroleum, oil, gas refineries are there, but again we need to check only 31 characters as a sheet name. More than that we cannot take. So let's see with the values. What values do I have? With this particular item, I think this is not the correct one. Yeah, this is not the correct one. And let's see with the code. So here we have the code. Here we have the sheet. Petroleum, gas, oil refinery, paper publishing, all service industry, all manufacturing industry. We have all the values. everything that can be extracted. Okay, so this is how this project is. There are three different process. One is like a dispatcher. The second one is like a dispatcher and also a performer. First, it will perform some actions and then it will extract or dispatch it to a second queue. Now, the third process will actually take the value. So, one important thing that we can do from this is we can also add output data to this particular item, but for now we are already adding it to Excel. There is a lot of writing that we are trying to do. So this is how we can exactly do process chaining. So once the process is started, we can also schedule it such that if the bot is available or if the item is available, we can also schedule the bot in such a way if the queue is having some new values. If you see in the queues, there is something called trigger. So when we have a trigger, add a trigger here, start job when new items are added. This is one thing, and when we have it in a separate time. So earlier we used to have only the time trigger, but now we have the queue as well. We can select the process. Since I did not publish, let's leave it, and priority is high. We can keep maximum number of items to trigger the first job. So here we can say like if there are only 20 jobs, then trigger this process, or else don't trigger this process. Okay, maximum number of pending items and running jobs allowed simultaneously. Okay, so there should be pending and they can also be running jobs, but there should be only one item, like if it can be pending or it can run. Nothing else. And time zone, let's leave it. Workday restrictions, if there is any restriction we can add, but disable trigger it. If we want to add some trigger where I need to disable this, I can disable. So let's go ahead and check with the queues and let's see company details. We have all the values, successful 7 and failed these. Okay, we can also retry view transactions and see app exceptions, new, failed. We have all of these failed. Or let's see with the exceptions, business application exception. So let's try everything and let's, I think I cannot retry it. Retried, retried. I thought I can retry. Okay, let's check with the queues. Fine, let's add something else. What do we need to do? Nothing. It's been 5 hours or five continuous sessions that I have taken this particular project to complete. Yes, it's long because there are a lot of conditions that we need to check. But if you want to go ahead and see all the videos, they are available in my channel. And in my channel, you can go with the videos. And in the videos, you can see that advanced data scraping part 5, which currently we are in 4, 3, 2, 1. So from here till here, we have close to 8 hours, or to here 4 to 6, close to 8 hours of time that we have taken to complete this project. And go ahead and watch them. It will be very useful if you are a fresher or if you are trying to build some new process with orchestrator or queues or something with process chaining. This can be a better solution which you can try and work on. Okay, see you. Bye bye. Keep me posted with your questions, and if there are any questions, you can contact me on my LinkedIn channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Bajrang Talks. See ya. Bye bye.